I can hear it now. I think we're good. I don't know if you're out there, Hedgewitch, and can confirm that, but I think I just had to I just restarted everything. I don't know why it keeps doing that every time. It's weird. Ta-da! Okay, good. Is it too loud or is the volume okay? Louder, softer? Good? Okay, cool. Putting it back on shuffle though. All right. What's up, Hedgewitch? What are you up to today? No. Let it go. Oh, you just finished? You should have DM'd me. Or maybe I need to set up notifications for you because I'm following you, but I think I have notifications set to not tell me because I want to know when people go live. How was it? What'd you make? Let it go. Let you down. Had to take a little break. I had a recent surgery that wipes me out. Oh no. What happened? What did you have to have surgery on? Hope it wasn't your hands. That would make glass very hard. I'm working on like 5 projects today, but today was Monstera leaves. Kidney stones. Never experienced those, but I've heard they're super painful. Aren't they a lot worse for men though? Because the stone has to like go out their, you know, they are. So what do they like? Is the surgery like they open up your kidney and take the stones out? I assume. That's no fun. You wear my heart. Yeah. Yeah. Do they know how that happens? Like, can you not have it happen anymore? Or are you just going to have to, like, keep having surgery? Your kidneys are waking up slowly. Well, I hope they stop making stones. It's not a cool thing to do. Mine's a very genetic kind. I'm sorry, am I focusing on you too much and making you nervous? It's just because I don't want to talk about myself. Yes, more daisies today. I will do different things eventually. I'm thinking maybe, I was thinking more about like how regularly I'm going to stream and what I'm going to do. And I think maybe like 2 streams a week would be good. And maybe like make the same thing that week, but in like different colors. Like that could be cool. Like today I'm going to make a black daisy. So it'll be a little different. And I'm going to have to start doing streams later too, because I got messages from people being like, I work during the day, but I want to join. And I don't know. I don't really want to stream after 5 because that's when my husband gets off work and I'd rather spend time with him during those hours. But maybe like every other week I'll do streams later. I don't know. That's kind of what I'm thinking though. And bear with me, I have to make an Instagram post real quick because it's noon and apparently that's the best time for me to make posts. I just have to, it's already drafted, I just have to post it. Share. Don't cater to everyone's needs on your first 2 days. Stream when it works for you. Yeah. Yeah. That's what my international friend was telling me. He was like, it'd be beneficial for me if you would stream a little bit earlier, but at the same time, your fan base is in the US, so it doesn't really matter what I say. And I was like, yeah, you're right. All right. They'll make time to watch you or rewatch your streams later. Yeah. Do you have subscriptions on yours? Because that was something I definitely am going to set up. Or watch them on YouTube when you start to upload there. Yeah. Melina! You're definitely, you have to be my Melina. Hi! How's it going? I'm so happy that you joined. And you're not an affiliate yet. I don't know that I know what the requirements for an affiliate are. Gotta look into that. Melina, do you go by Melina or Melly? I always want to call people by their preferred nickname or name. Thank you for joining. Endlessly. You're a good girl and you know it. You act so different around me. But yeah, we're making another daisy today. So if you were on my stream yesterday, it's going to be the same thing, but we're going to make one in a different color today. So I was hoping that could be a little bit more interesting. You won't see the exact same thing over again. Peanut Butter says hi to all of you. I'm like 0.2 viewers average a stream. To become affiliate, you need 50 followers and so much airtime, and then you can have emojis and subscriptions. Gotcha. You could start a Patreon though. Yeah, I considered that as well. But I'd rather just like have all my stuff in one. I'd rather stream and monetize in like the same place. Like I feel like it's going to be frustrating to be trying to do a bunch of different things on different platforms. Like it's already hard for me to manage Instagram and like Twitter or Facebook, and I don't even post anything different to those things. I just repost Instagram stuff, and that's already like annoyingly difficult for me. Melina, I've been trying to join the last couple of days, but it's finals week. I go by Melina, but others call me Melly. I don't mind. Okay, cool. Finals week. What are you studying? It's exciting. You're almost done. I don't know how many years left you have. Maybe this is your last year. That'd be super exciting. All our scraps. I love it. Yep. All the scraps. So this daisy is going to have a black petals with a white center. And then the same green leaves. I don't know why, but I want my daisies to be like all black and white. Like I thought about like, oh, we could make like a pink one. I'm just not feeling it for this design. I could make like a different flower and have it be pink, but I don't know. I just don't want, not feeling colors. For the road. Peanut Butter, my music wasn't working again at the beginning of the stream. So I had to figure it out on my own, and that was really stressful, and I don't appreciate you not being there for me in my moment of crisis. So we're going to have to talk about that later. Hedgewitch was here for me. So Peanut Butter did a bad. Aren't the Sharpie oil pens the best? Yeah. They're the only ones I've found that have like stayed on through the grinding process at all. But even them, if you don't let them dry, the ring saw always demolishes them. So sometimes I take a glue stick and I'll put that over them if I'm going to do it on the ring saw. That usually works okay. I'm studying video game design with a Greek minor and a studio arts minor. Oh my gosh, I'm so jealous of that. I think all the time like about what I could have majored in that would have been so much cooler than what I did. And video game design is one that I always think about. Do you love it? Is it a lot of fun? It has to be. Move over, Peanut Butter. I use an old paintbrush too. Yeah. Oh my god, I need a black daisy for my planter. You can have this one, Melina. And we kind of are making it together, so it'll be extra special. Right? That is really cool. Melina, I want you to tell us about that. I wonder if the competition for jobs in that industry is like very intense. Like my first thought is that it would be, but I mean, there's so much going on with tech these days. Maybe it's not. You did video games and media. Hedwig, you did that too? I thought that'd be like a very uncommon area of study. Maybe not though. But you didn't end up using it because you do restaurant stuff with the hubby, right? Or do you do like independent stuff with that? Are you going to move to a big city after graduation? Is that what you have to do if you want to get a job in that field? Melina says, thank you. Yeah, it's been fun, but super stressful for a couple classes because I'm not a coder. I'm more of an artist instead of a coder. Yeah. But I always thought they would have to have, that'd be like separate. Like one person would be coding and another person would be doing the art design, and like it wouldn't matter that they couldn't do each other's jobs. But maybe that's not necessarily how it is. Hedwig says, yes, but I'll do small stuff. Like I've been doing people's stream overlays and small logos. Oh, dope. Maybe you can help me figure out the emoticon thing eventually, because I was thinking that'd be cool, but I have no idea how to do that. I live just outside of Pittsburgh, so I wouldn't mind commuting. I wouldn't move though. I went to school in Philly, which I have no idea if that's anywhere near Pittsburgh, but we're in the same state. I hear Pittsburgh is a lot of fun though. Yinzers, right? Don't you guys say that? Coding is not like what it used to be. Being well-rounded will definitely always put you ahead than other people. Very true. Okay, we're gonna grind. I'm gonna go grind this. You could find a good job in New York if that isn't too far. Yeah, is there a nice train that could take you from Pittsburgh to New York? I grew up in New Jersey, and I think the train ride was like 2 hours from Jersey to New York. But that'd be a long commute to do every day, unless you could like work during it. We are Yinzers, yes. Yeah, you guys have like your own unique lingo. I used to work with some people from Pittsburgh, and they had a whole thing going on. Rolling down in the deep. Have you guys heard this song yet? I just heard it for the first time like a week ago, and I love it so much. I feel like an astronaut in the ocean, rolling down in the deep. You can call that Uncle Freeze. Slow motion, like an astronaut in the ocean. Also, put my name on this planter for me. This is super sentimental. This is like our first time meeting in real time. It is. It's cute. I wish there was like a little like video for you guys that could pop up in the corner. Like when you're typing, I can see your face. That'd be super cool. But this is good enough, I guess. Yeah, me and Melly are BFFs, Hedgewitch. I mean, so are you and I, but... rolling down in the deep. Call that mental freeze. Slow motion. Like an astronaut in the ocean. Rolling down in the deep. Are you guys both into like video games then, pretty seriously? I assume so if you are designing them. I'm a pretty big gamer myself these days when I have time, which isn't a lot. Such a bitch. Handle it. Frequent LBC. Also, you had mentioned earlier you wish you would have studied something different. I don't think it matters because you're doing this full time right now and you're killing it. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I don't know. I think a lot about like what would my life have been like if I like hadn't even gone to college at all. Like if I had just gone with art right out of high school. Because like I always knew I loved art. I always wanted to be an artist. But like, you know, society, my parents and teachers were all like, that can't be your job. And I was like, yeah, I guess not. So I'll study engineering, which I was never really passionate about, but I was good at, and I knew it would find me a career that paid really well. And it was fine. I don't regret it. But I do wonder sometimes, like maybe I'd have my own gallery or something by now if I had just done this right out of high school, you know? Especially since my dad did it. Like he would have been able to, he would have been able to teach me so much. Middle of winter. Not as much as I used to be. For me, it was more character design. Okay. Same here for Melina. Beautiful, cold as ice, keep hanging on. What am I supposed to do? Uh-oh. Like 20 below. She's such a bitch. I can handle it. Go, uh-oh. And it's 20 below. That girl, she's such a bitch. In love with it. That girl. That girl. It's cutting our lead to about what I think it has to be. Pity parade. You can see I made it a little too long, so we're gonna have to trim it up. Do it again. Overrated. I say it's complicated. That looks good. My dad has a gallery too. He never went to school. Wow. What's his gallery? He came from Greece though, so it's not really looked down upon that much over there. Back then anyways. That's very interesting. What kind of art does he do? From Greece. Wow. Do you guys still have family in Greece? Do you like go back there for cool vacations and stuff? I've never been, but it always looks so pretty when I see photos of other people's vacations. And we have the lead pretty much around, but I want to try to make it more circular. Should make the knit work. And again, I'm just like pressing it down on this hard surface to try to curve the ends in. And I know it doesn't look like a perfect circle, but when we put a little solder over that gap, it'll hide, should hide that, so it's not a big deal. That's pretty close though. Well, that would explain the Greek studies. Yeah, that does make more sense. That looks pretty good. You're coming in? Oh, I was gonna say maybe we should leave the door cracked this time so Mr. Milkshakes might visit us. I think you can come if you want peanut butter though. First of all, it's Mr. Milky Shoes. He has a bunch of different names. If you guys haven't noticed by now, I tend to give the things that I love weird nicknames. Usually they involve food. Don't know why. So you probably won't hear me say my husband's actual name very much or my dog's actual names, but you'll hear me call them weird other names. There he is. He's not going to come in without his daddy. There's Mr. Milkshakes.
Say hi to the people.
Come on. There we go. Can you guys see him? He's very cute.
And this one.
And that one's not as friendly. She won't visit me, but Mr. Milkshakes will.
He will.
All right. You can leave it cracked. He does photography, and I work there part-time while I'm in school. I do have family over there, all my dad's side of the family. That's really awesome. So like, and you get like the experience of working in a gallery. I'm assuming you're not taking the photos, but you're like manning the gallery or like helping him like hang the photos in like pretty ways or something. It's pretty dope. I would love to do something like that. Gotta love those food names, lol. Yeah, I don't know why I do it. Kind of weird. My heart is screaming, what a cute family. Thank you. They are my whole life, and they are pretty cute. We have a cat too, but he's definitely not as friendly. But he might sneak in every once in a while, just to like bat my glass off my table. He likes to do that. He was in the shower. Into water. He was in you in the shower. Try an ecstasy, didn't try an ecstasy. And now we are going to start wrapping up our petals. When I was patinaing next to this lead yesterday, which you shouldn't do because obviously it gets all over the lead and then you have little black dots. So I'm just taking some steel wool and scratching off that patina. I'm working on a commission right now behind me, which is what this patina was from, and it'd be so good to show on here because like the lead work on it is kind of crazy, and I think people would really appreciate seeing that. But it's a surprise commission that I can't share, so unfortunately you won't get to see it, and I'll probably never make another one because it was so annoying to make. Why did you wrap the center with a thicker rod and the petals with thinner? Because the middle, there's two kinds of cane. This is called lead cane, and there's two kinds of it. This is H cane, and it's called H because it looks like an H, like there's a little lip on either side, so the glass can fit into it, and it's covered by that lead. And then this is U cane, which is shaped like a U, so there's only a lip on one side of it, and the other side is smooth. So the middle one gets the H cane, so the glass can fit into it. And then the outer one is the U cane, so it has like that smooth outer edge. Hopefully that made sense. Diamonds by the boatload. You weren't here yesterday, Melina, but it was the topic of conversation yesterday and whether people like to use lead or copper foil for their stained glass. I like lead because it looks really clean, I think, but a lot of people prefer to use this copper foil, and that's when you like wrap the piece in the foil, and then you would put solder over the foil, which would also create like that same metal look, but I just don't think it's as clean as lead. But I do still use copper foil if there's like really tiny details, because this lead is kind of like hard to bend around like really tiny curves. Oh, actually, I thought the circle was wrapped with the metal used for the stem. I was like, how the heck is that possible? No, it's not. I don't know if there's a good way to wrap. I use brass for this will be the stem, and this stuff is like really sturdy. You definitely could not bend this into a circle with your hands. There's probably a machine you could use to do it, which would be dope, but I don't know about it. Psycho. Mama, she wanna have my baby. Chain so stanky. Yeah, drop top. Mm-hmm. Mm-mm-mm-mm. So as I make each petal, I'm just going to pin it in place super tightly. And then when they're all there, we'll get going with the solder and solder them all in place. And I pre-ground these petals because I think that's the most boring thing to watch, me on the grinder. And I apparently work way, way slower when I'm on stream than I do not on stream. So it's also just to make the process go a little bit quicker. That's another thing, like I was hoping I'd be able to stream a lot because I'm always in here anyway. So I'm like, why don't I just turn the camera on and be able to monetize this? But like I work so much slower. Makes me think I'm not going to be able to stream as much as I want to or thought I was going to be able to. Hedrich says, I've seen some really rad stuff done with removing copper from copper sheet to give detailed work. Yeah, I've seen that stuff too. I don't love doing detail work with copper foil because I feel like it makes the final piece a little bit more fragile. Because if you're like polishing it, and I'm thinking from a customer's point of view, like obviously you and I know how to handle stained glass properly and we'd be careful. But I think a lot of customers would like go to clean it or something and maybe be a little rough with it, and then the foil can peel off. So I tend to use wire for my detailing or fused glass, which is ideal because you can never remove that. Customers can't mess that up. But yeah, the foil detailing can be really beautiful. I just always get nervous that a customer will mess it up, and then I'll feel bad because they didn't know any better. I'm solo. I'm riding solo. I'm riding solo. Yeah, that's true. Especially if they snag the edge. Exactly. Like if you work with stained glass, you know what the delicate parts are and what to stay away from. But if you don't, you wouldn't have any idea. It's another reason I stopped using paint and I moved into using fused glass instead, because like paint is really beautiful and you can do really awesome things with paint. But a customer might, I don't know what you guys do with your stained glass. Maybe they're going to put it in the dishwasher or something and like it'd be ruined. Or if they went to polish it again with like steel wool or something and they did it too hard over the paint, paint's going to be gone. But I mean, if you're using the right paint, the kind that you like bake on in the oven, you'd have to try really hard to get that off. But it could still be scratched off, like if someone moves or something. So I don't know. I'm very worried about customers messing up pieces on their own, because I would just feel so bad about that. Especially because stained glass is not cheap. S-O-L-O. I'd almost prefer the oil pens instead of paint at this point. Oil base is definitely the way to go with glass. I'm solo. I'm riding solo. I'm riding solo. Can't stop the shine. My head's in the sky. I'm solo. I'm riding solo. Solo, solo. Mom, are you out there? I think I can assume my mom is always here. She was here yesterday. But Mom, I had something to tell you if you're here. Maybe not. What I'm doing now, as I wrap the letter on the outside, I'm just trimming away the bottom, like bit by bit, because like I showed earlier, the H came in the center has a little lip that the petal glass has to fit under, but it can't fit under there if the U came is like too long and preventing it. So I just do little chop chops on the bottom until it fits correctly. Sometimes I do a little too much chop chop, like that right there. It's a little bit bigger than I would like, but it's gonna be fine. Okay. I'm gonna spin that center so that the little gap in the center lines up like perfectly with where this petal edge is meeting it, because that way when I do the little solder dot, it'll hide the gap and the petal joint together and just make it look a little bit cleaner, I think. Kind of like that. I'm creeping here. It's Kelly. Hi, Kelly. Thank you for joining, listening as you work. You're close enough to my mom. That's fine. I have some lovely family members who have made accounts to join my stream, and I appreciate that. Do you work from home all the time, Kelly? And you don't have to. If you're busy doing work, just ignore me, but just wondering because I know you probably didn't work from home before COVID, but maybe now that COVID has hit, you work from home all the time. I know I'm being really finicky with this petal, but it's really important that the top and bottom ones are like perfectly straight up and down, because when I put the brass stem on, like it has to line up right in the center of both. So if they're a little to the side, it's gonna look bad. Y'all feel me? I think that works. Yep, our office is still closed. Yeah, I think that's just gonna be the new norm for a lot of people now. Like Tripp was going into the office every day, and then after COVID hit, he started working from home, and I think his company just made a public announcement a couple of weeks ago that very limited number of people are ever going to go back into the office. And I imagine that's how most companies are reacting, because why would you spend so much money on rent for a big building when people are just as productive working from home? Funny, Mike had just said something about Twitch the other day, and only because of this did I know what he was talking about. Yeah, I don't imagine anyone over the age of like 35, not to date you, you're only 36, knows what Twitch is, or has a good understanding of it at least. I know I didn't until a couple of years ago when another Instagram artist reached out to me and told me he was starting like a group for it. But I'm very much behind the times on everything. More productive, probably. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Some people say that they're a lot more productive from home, and others say they're way less. Because I guess it comes down to like whether you're easily distracted or not. Like a lot of people, I guess, can't, you know, if they have the TV or a book or whatever their thing is that they like to do right next to them and they're able to do it, then they might just slack off work and do that instead. But someone like me, for instance, would be a lot more productive because I really like to work with quiet without people coming up to my desk and such all the time. So I'd be more productive. But he's sexy, tell him hey. Me everything tonight. I'm just getting more lead from my mega roll. I'll show you guys how freaking massive this thing is. Look at that. That's all my lead. I don't know. I think it's like 15 pounds. It's quite heavy. And I just chop off chunks of it as needed. I promise not. Excuse me, excuse me. Sometimes it gets twisted around itself like it is right now, and I have to be very careful not to bend it the wrong way. The annoying thing about lead is like it gets like kinks in it super easily, and you really can't undo them once they're there. So you have to treat it very delicately. I'm 32, lol. Yeah, see, you're not in the being unaware of Twitch group yet. That starts at 35, I think. Wow, I feel like a child. I'm 20. Melly, you're only 23? You are a child. Now you just made me feel old. I'm 30. It just happened a couple months ago. I don't like to think about it. You're going to be 50 in June. Way to just admit it, Kelly, and rock the age, and with Melly out here being like, oh, I'm only 16. Very brave. 50 in June. It's a big birthday. Happy early birthday. I miss collaborating with coworkers and funny client stories. Can I say that you're in the line of social work? Hopefully you don't mind me admitting that on stream, but but I imagine there'd be some really funny stories in that line of work, and also probably really sad ones. But you guys can still tell funny stories over like chat and Zoom, right? Everything tonight. Actually, I'm glad you showed that because the photos online never really show how it would look. The big roll of cane. It's hard to find too. I think we were talking about this yesterday. I don't know if it was you or someone else who said it, but like lead cane can be hard to find online. Like I honestly don't know where I got that big roll from, but that's why I got such a big roll, because I was like, if I can get like a year's worth of cane in one go, I'm gonna jump on it. Everything tonight. The cane roll. I haven't committed yet. Well, yeah, if you're not sure about it, I mean, that's not cheap. Like I don't know how much that was, but it was definitely over like $50. I don't know that it was over 100, but you wouldn't want to spend money like that on something you're not sure you're going to use. I mean, we talked about like the whole lead poisoning thing yesterday too. Like that's just another thing to keep in mind. If you don't use lead, then you have a much lower risk of having to deal with anything related to that. I mean, there's lead in solder, but you can see like my hands are like black from dealing with this, so I do have to be careful to make sure I wash them really thoroughly. And I did get, this song's a little intense. I'm gonna skip it. I did get these yesterday. I think I mentioned I had these, but I ran out of them yesterday, and they arrived from Amazon today. They're called de-wipe towels, and they're like specifically made to get lead off your hands. So if I'm gonna, like when I'm done here, I'll wipe my computer and my phone down with that, because I'm going back and forth and touching stuff and probably getting everything covered in lead. And then if I go to the kitchen and forget I did that and make food, I'll be eating lead. So it's important not to do that. I did, but those German runners yesterday though? German runners? I'm confused by what that means. Oh, buy those German runners. I hope they make cutting circles easier. I don't know if I know what you're talking about. I'm trying to think, did you send me a link to those? You sent me the Patina links, but I don't know if you sent me a link to runners. With me. Out here in the deep, to get my own away. Used to hear when she was laying in my arms. Hey, hey, I'll see you on the flip side. Silberschnitt running pliers. They have a weird nib that helps distribute the crack at the right angle. That helps with circles specifically? I have not heard of that. Yummy Rocks, hello, thank you for joining. So what is it you are working on? I am doing the same thing that I did yesterday, the daisy planter stake, but to make it a little bit more interesting for you guys, I'm making a black and white one instead of a white and yellow one. I was saying earlier, I will be doing different pieces eventually, but this week, just for my first streams, I had to do daisy planters because I've been out of stock of them. And I didn't have a ton of time this week to plan out streams. And I do want to put a fair amount of planning into them. So I just had to go with something easy. But next week, I think I'm going to do streams later, more like 5 p.m. so people that work during the day can join in. And I'll be making something different next week. I'm not sure what yet. If you guys have anything specifically you want to see, let me know. Yummy Rocks, are you also a glass worker? I don't know if I think Melina might be, well, in my family, but Melina might be like the only non-glass worker that's participated in my stream so far. Valentine. Shoot. I keep cutting it like a little bit too short. Feel alright. Actually, that was pretty perfect. Need a little therapy. Say to me, hi ho, let's go. Gonna start a riot. 1, 2. I don't wanna be like you. I'm my own worst enemy. Think we're looking pretty good. Wow. I wanna be like you. Hopefully you guys can see everything I'm doing. If anything's ever like not clear, or if I'm working off screen and don't realize it, please let me know. Say to me, hi ho, let's go. You don't want it. Are you pinning the pieces to wood? No, this is a piece of styrofoam covered in linen that I made. I have a whole bunch of these boards that I made just for like different size projects. So it's a piece of cork board and then with a couple layers of styrofoam on top. So I glue it all together and then I wrap it in linen. And that way push pins can go into it, but it's still like sturdy. Or maybe I put the styrofoam on the bottom, then, yeah, I think I do styrofoam on the bottom, then cork on top. It's some combination of those two. But it's just super convenient to have boards that I can like pick up and move around my studio. So I can switch from project to project pretty easily. To tell me what to do. A lot of glass artists do pin into wood though. I have seen that. I think my dad does that. But takes a lot of force to like push a pin into wood. And I don't like doing that. Smart. Yeah. I try to be innovative with my solutioning. We're the kids. We're the kids in America. We're the kids. We're the kids. Okay, and our last petal. And remember, this is the important one. It has to be exactly symmetrical with the top. Straight up and down with the stake. You just look at me like that. You need to say, and you can see there's like a little wiggle room with the lead. Like you see that one piece moving back and forth. You never want there to be any wiggle room when you go to solder. So it's going to be very important that I hold, like I pinch it tight when I solder. So there's no wiggle room in the final piece. I think the top petal might have to be moved to the left a little bit. That's what I was thinking. It seems hard to pin into wood and get them to stay. Yeah, I really don't know why anyone would do that. But I don't know. People have their own methods that work for them, so. Whatever. A mistake. Oh, sorry. I keep hitting the camera with my headphones. That looks better. Time would never beat. Does that look straight to you guys? The top and the bottom? I think it does. Beating strong. All right, and now we're gonna grind our petals and then we will solder. Yes, good. Hedge witch approves, so we're good. One of the things I miss most about my life before glass is having pretty nails. Hedge witch, I'm sure you feel the same. All my friends will tell you I would like match my nail polish to every outfit, like change it on a daily basis. And when you start doing glass, you realize that is a useless effort. My pointers barely ever even have nails because like I grind them so much, especially when I'm using tiny pieces. A lot of times I'll have to like purposefully sacrifice the tips of my fingers and my nails in order to get the right shape. My nails are only painted now because my dad was in town and I was waiting for him to arrive and I didn't want to start a new project because I was waiting and I didn't want to be interrupted and I was bored. So I painted my nails, but you'll probably never see them like this again. And like I was saying yesterday, lead doesn't really wrap nicely around sharp edges. So like this is a good leaf. I think that's a good leaf shape, but the tip is a little bit too pointy to have the lead go around it. So we just have to round it out. Yes, RIP to pretty nails. There's some glass artists that I see on social media that have like acrylic nails. Like I think Lockhart always has like really nice long acrylic nails, and I'm always so confused when I see that. I'm like, are you getting them done every day? You can't. Your fingers would fall off. If she's working that way, she's magical. Maybe she uses her feet. I don't know. I have acrylic, and I'll tell you it helps when you're grinding to hold down small pieces. Really? I cannot imagine that, but if you say so. I guess maybe if you like, you just get used to it, like if you always have them, it could be helpful. I don't know. I don't think I could do it. Also, it's expensive to keep getting your nails done. Unless you're doing them yourself, but I think acrylic would be harder to do yourself. Right now I'm just grinding the second leaf and I'm using the first one as the template because I want them to be the exact same shape. So I'm just like slowly grinding the outside of this one away and then I'll compare it to this one. And you can see it's a little bit too wide on the end still. So that's how I know where to grind. Yeah, it can add up. I do mine myself. Yeah, good for you. That's what I would do if I was gonna do it. I guess if you work in the restaurant industry like you do, people probably also like expect you to have clean nails. I would be very put off if there was like a manager, waiter, someone who came to my table while I was eating and had like really nasty ground up leaded fingertips. I probably wouldn't want to eat there again. So, smart decision on your part. There. I think they match pretty well. I get too sad until you pull too hard. Asha does not like you having nails. Oh, is that like the FDA, like the restaurant version of that? The one who like gives you your letter grade on how clean your restaurant is? Why wouldn't they want you to have acrylic nails though? Are they worried it's gonna like fall off into the food? Because that's not really how acrylic works. Now we're gonna wrap these little leaves in lead. I love this song. You let us in the game. Let us in the motherfucking rap game. Call her Lola. Charming cobras. But you're not the only one. I call her Katia. The mafia. Her friends wish they knew me. Yeah, that's exactly why. I mean, press-on nails could fall into your food, but that's not acrylic. They want what they want, what they want. Probably just silly men making those rules, not understanding how nails work. It's amazing what men don't understand, what they won't notice. Like, I used to do this thing, I still do sometimes with my husband, where I try to test his level of what he will not notice, and it's unbelievable. We'll go out and I'll put my hair in like some insane way, like pigtails, like right on top of my head, and I'll be like, "You ready to go, babe?" And he'll be like, "Yep, you look great." And I'm like, "You're gonna let me leave the house like this?" No comment on it. He's like, "Oh, yeah, I guess it looks kind of weird." Like one time I put lipstick only on, I think, my upper lip, or my like one of my lips, and again I was like, "Ready to go?" And he's like, "Yep." It's for the pure percentage of someone wearing nails will not clean under it properly. Oh, yeah. That's a good point. And again, I'm just pressing the lead. I'm using the hard surface of this cutting mat to like curve this lead so it comes together in a nice clean joint. And then I'll do the same thing with this one. With my luck, I would forget that I looked at it like that and actually go out. Well, yeah, that's why I need to test the husband, because he's supposed to be the barrier to like make sure that never happens, just in case I ever do look insane for some reason and I'm going to go out. But apparently he's not a very good person for that. I also sometimes think he has like face blindness, because sometimes when we're watching Netflix or something, he'll get so confused on who people are. Like one time we were watching like Narcos, I think it was, or something, and there was a Mexican man, like a full Mexican man with like a black mustache and like a chin strap or something, very clearly Mexican. And he was like, "Oh, that's that guy, that's that actor." And I was like, "Who? I don't recognize him." And he's like, you know, from that funny show, Friends. And I was like, what? I don't think so. And he's like, yeah, that's Chandler. And I was like, are you kidding? That's a Mexican man. And he had to Google it because he was so convinced that was Chandler. And from that moment on, I've never trusted his ability to recognize faces. Your attention, not your mother. Don't even bother. So now I joke around with him, and like every time we watch Netflix and there's like a Mexican man or something, I'll be like, hey, isn't that Jennifer Aniston? Da 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 da. Need to trim the end of this a little bit. Visible. Do 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 do. Also again. I think those look good. Okay. Now we can get to the fun part. Probably the most fun part to watch is the soldering, I would assume. So I'm gonna put on my Michael Jackson glove. In your hands again. Jennifer Aniston, not Chandler. And I think if it's a little lower, you can see better. Okay. So, I'm gonna get all my lead out of the way. So this is my soldering iron. It's a Weller and it has a little dial so I can adjust the temperature. And what I do is I melt this solder into all the joints of the piece, and that's what like glues it all together and keeps it attached. And there are only certain things that solder will stick to. It'll stick to brass, it'll stick to lead, and it'll stick to copper, provided that you are putting flux onto it. But there are a lot of metals it won't stick to, which is why like the metals you use in stained glass are made out of very specific materials. Hands again. I've always wished that they would make a lead, or not a lead, like a wrapping thing out of copper. Because I would really like to be able to wrap my pieces in a color other than black or silver. And it seems like copper wouldn't be that expensive or difficult for them to make, right? Because like it's super bendy and malleable. And the solder would stick to it. So I don't know why they don't do that. Or maybe they do and I just don't know about it. Hedge witch, I don't know if you've ever heard of like copper cane. But if that's out there, I would like to know about it. And I have this little smoke absorber over here. It's a little fume absorber because the fumes given off when solder heats up and interacts with flux and lead are not good to inhale. So it's important that you always have a fume hood, fume extractor, or a smoke absorber, or like a fan or open windows running when you're doing this stuff. So I'm just painting the flux onto all the little joints where I'm going to put the solder. And And I guess we can start with the leaves. We're just going to put some solder on the very ends of these little guys so we can attach them to the brass. Trying to put everything somewhere where you guys can see it. I need to know what playlist you're listening to because I love these songs. Melina, you and I are like spirit animals together. I feel like we're very in tune with like the designs and the things that we like because this is just my iTunes library. I love every song on it, and I'm very happy to know that you do too, so far at least. It's very like random though, as you can tell. Like I don't really have like full albums. There's no artist where I'm like I love every song they've made, so it's more like I just pick out 1 or 2 songs from every artist that I like. So it'll jump from like Bob Marley to Flow Rider or something. I'm kind of surprised because you're so much younger. I would think your musical taste might be quite different than mine. That's like a major problem ever since I started working from home, which was several years ago, even when I still had my consulting job. I had been working from home since like 2017. But I was still interacting with people in the office, obviously. But now that I work from home and I'm a glass artist and I don't really interact with people very much, I don't have good sources for like what's going on in the world or like hip new music and stuff. So I'm just kind of in my own bubble of like music from the 90s or whatever I happen to pick up from like my minimal ventures outside. I'm an old soul. I hate people my age. Do you? Are you Gen Z? I don't know what like the year cutoffs are. Gen Z scares me though. I always feel like I'm gonna offend them accidentally when I don't mean to. But they're really funny on TikTok, I think. So I'm like embarrassed to admit how much I love TikTok. I didn't want to love it and I waited so long to download it, but eventually I was just like, people are getting so many followers off of this, like it's probably a good idea to do for my business. And I don't like, all I do is repost my Instagram reels to TikTok, but like I'm not out there dancing. But some of those people are really fucking funny. Keep going. I promise I'm not a basic bitch. Melina, I did not for a second even consider that you would be. You're my kind of girl. Hedge witch, I hate that I fall under a millennial. Yeah, you and me both. I'm not sure when the cutoffs are either. I was born in 98. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Gen Z. Do millennials have a reputation of anything? I think it's just that, like, we expect everything to be handed to us. Like, we're very entitled. I think maybe that's what it is. What we're known for. Which a lot of us probably are. I keep touching this hot solder with the edge of my hand and it hurts. You can be worth my effort. Should have been born in the 80s. Yeah. TikTok is good mindless entertainment. It is. It's just, I don't like how easily you can sit there and be on it for like an hour without realizing how long you've been watching it. Like there are better ways I could be spending my time, I always think. Idiots, LOL. Was that us that was eating Tide Pods? I thought that was a Gen Z thing. I'm gonna put that on Melina. Melina, you started that trend, didn't you? Eating the Tide Pods? I feel like Gen Z should have been considered 2000 babies because everyone I know who is younger than me is offended by everything. That's what I'm saying. It's like scary to talk to people. I know, I just think like censorship is becoming a real theme in America, and that scares me a lot. I mean, I don't agree with, hate speech, and it's definitely dangerous to some level, but the amount of censorship we're starting to be okay with is like scary. Like, I'm annoyed every day by freaking Instagram not approving my products, and I notice I'll get like shadow banned if I like when the first time I posted my weed earrings and I tagged it with like weed and like smoke weed every day and like a bunch of like stoner tags, I noticed my engagement dropped for like a week after that. So now whenever I post weed stuff, I tag it with like I don't know, things that don't have weed in it. Like, I just looked at what other people were tagging them with, and it's like good vibes or like 420, like these hashtags that Instagram, I guess, doesn't realize are weed related. They're just like lame that we have to behave that way. Or like, my pieces that have outlines of female like butts or boobs. Instagram's always not approving those or not letting me promote those and stuff. And it's like, okay, so Instagram models can be out here in their bikinis, and that's not a problem, but if I try to portray it in art, it is. That doesn't make any sense. Eating Tide Pods and drinking bleach, both of those. Oh, and soaking tampons in alcohol and putting it in our butts to get drunk. Isn't that called boofing? I think it's called boofing. So stupid. I mean, it's innovative. If you want to get drunk real quick, you don't have time to take those 3 shots. Taking a shot can take like up to 7 seconds, and a lot of people don't have time for that. These Gen Zers got shit to do. Give it away now. Give it away, give it away now. Give it away, give it away, give it away now. All right, so we have all the dots on. They're not exactly symmetrical yet, so we're gonna have to clean that up. But I just like to stick it all together, and then we'll do the back, and then we'll clean up the front. So it's fine that it doesn't look perfect right now. TikTok. Hey, Glimpse, thanks for joining. TikTok is worse, not for sex, but for drugs. Like, if you post anything can, it will be flagged. Isn't that so annoying? And the first time, I'm surprised TikTok, are they owned by Instagram? Because that's how you can tell, like, whenever these companies are all owned by the same thing, obviously they're going to have the same stupid rules. Like, the first time I posted my marijuana jewelry, the earrings were approved, but the necklace wasn't. And Instagram gave me a reason, being like, Instagram does not approve drugs or something. And so I flagged it for appeal with the message that this is jewelry, not drugs. And then I think they like disapproved my earrings as well, and my engagement dropped for like a week. So, lesson learned. Don't try to get your shit approved if they say they don't like it, because they don't follow logic. Sucks that TikTok is like that too, though. I just want there to be some platform that doesn't do that. Like, it's so frustrating that these are such huge critical parts of us. Like, we need them to make livings. And like, what other alternative do we have? I'm not going to stop making things I like. I would never do that. But at the same time, I want to be able to advertise my products. I don't know. Give it away, give it away, give it away now. Is the cane on the inside just hobby cane? On the outside it is. The inside is 1/8 inch H cane. Glasswork got kicked out of the creative fund for posting a dried hemp leaf. I don't know what Glasswork is, and I don't know what their creator fund is. But that's insane, especially since weed is legal in so many places now. Facebook is Insta. Yeah, Facebook and Insta are owned by like Zuckerberg, or is he still the owner? I don't know, but then TikTok is separate, right? Isn't TikTok like Chinese? Fuckers. I know Facebook owned Insta, but I'm not sure what owns TikTok. Used to be a Chinese company, but Trump was going to shut down the app, so they made a deal to move it to the US. Oh. But who owns it here? Is it Facebook? I had heard that too. That's also a big reason I waited so long to get on TikTok, because I kept hearing that it was going to be banned. So I was like, I'm not going to put time and energy into this platform. It's just going to be banned. And then it wasn't, and I didn't know why, but guess now I do. On TikTok, you can be paid if you have more than 10K followers. It's not a lot of money. That's the creator fund. Oh. How are you paid? Like, do you have to post advertisements and they pay you for based on the amount of people that see the advertisements, or do you just do your normal posting and they just send you a paycheck every once in a while based on like how many viewers your videos are getting? Take the hits on day. Stop waiting up. All comes down to a sunrise on the east side. Carry home the remains of my wasted youth. I'm just doing the other side of the petals now. I was able to take my pins out because the front solder is going to hold it together, so I don't have to worry about it coming apart on me. Unless I keep my soldering iron on one spot for too long and melt through, which would be very bad. Very, very bad. Very, very bad, man. Little Seinfeld reference, if anyone got that. Carry me home. Probably similar to Twitch payments. Another thing I don't know anything about yet. It's not in Canada. You get paid based on likes, I think, and they just send you money. You have to apply to get into the fund. It's a way to incentivize people to create content because not everyone sells a product. Based on likes. Wow. I love, love, love your envelope with flowers growing out of them. Aren't those cute? Can't wait to purchase one someday, Glimpse. Glimpse, you do lovely work. Glimpse, do you do stuff for weddings ever? I feel like your art is like meant for weddings. Like you should think about like, I don't know if you do like hair pieces or something. I feel like brides would really like to wear them. Or even like, I'm trying to think of how else they could be incorporated into weddings. I mean, your wreaths could just be like decor for like the reception room too. I don't know if you market your products that way, but I think that would work. Vacation far away. Come around and talk it over. So many things that I wanna say. Jackie, you are the best distraction ever. I'm trying. I learned so much from you. Thank you. I hope we can teach each other stuff. It's kind of the whole point. No, I should. I have a commission for a wreath and a boutonniere as a bouquet. I tried making a headband. It was awful. Really? Keep trying. I don't believe that will always be true. That's another really good idea, the boutonniere. And that's cute because that's something they can keep forever. Like, I know I thought about keeping my wedding bouquet, but I don't know if I was just stupid about it or what, but like it just like kept like, it didn't look good. Like the leaves kept like falling off as like the months went by, and it just looked like old dried up nasty flowers. But if you know, you had a glass boutonniere or even like a very small glass bouquet. That's something you could actually carry on your wedding and then like keep forever, and it would look gorgeous. I think people would be hella into that. Making sense. Oh my god, that would be so perfect. A glass headpiece for a wedding, right? One of the other girls I follow on Instagram, my latest wedding portrait was of her. I think her handle's Lulu and Glass. She makes wedding hair pieces, and I think she made one for her own wedding. She wasn't wearing one in the picture I based the portrait off of, but I know she does make hair pieces. I've thought about it. The only reason I'm not jumping on it is because I really like to wrap my pieces in lead came. I don't know if I could ever go back to the soldered border, and you can't, or at least I wouldn't want to use lead for something that people were going to be putting in their hair. I put too much solder here, so I'm trying to pull it off. They kind of look like they're a single blob now, so we're gonna have to build that dot up more so they look more individual. I'll try again. Good. Yes, she makes wedding stuff, and she did a wreath for her wedding too. People are sending it to me, and I was like, oh yeah. Yeah. It's really nice that people like jump on stuff like that and will send you and be like, this person stole your shit. But like half the time it is just like for me, people send me mermaids like that don't look anything like the mermaids I made, and I'm like, other people can make mermaids. Like, I'm not gonna be mad about that. I'm sure you get like random flowers all the time. It's like, no, as long as they're not copying your specific design, it's all good. Or maybe a floral hairpin. Yeah, Lulu makes those. Lead-free solder is a bitch too, which is partially why I hated the headband. Yeah, I've had some in my closet forever, but I've never used it. Sand and Fireworks seems to have it down pretty well. She's been making hair pieces. Alright, I'm just gonna go around and try to make these beads bigger. There we go. I don't love how those two little joints kind of mush together, but we'll just make that the back. I mean, again, that's like one of those things that like, I don't know that the average person would like notice that or care, but it bothers me. Right, I had someone get mad at me for making feathers back in the day. So that's the thing, like, and another reason I avoid doing things like crystals or monstera leaves or feathers, not that I don't think they're awesome, but it's just like so many other people make them. I feel like it's almost like asking for someone to get mad at you about copywriting, or reversely, you see someone make one really close to yours and then you feel butthurt about it. So I'd rather just avoid the scenario altogether. Hannah is my bestie, which is why I'm not in a rush to make hair pieces, but I think there's room for two of us eventually. Maybe a wreath and a matching hairpiece. Hell yeah. It looks good. It is molten solder. It's not always perfect. Yeah, still hurts me inside though. Yeah, that's always tough though, like with Hannah making the hair pieces. Like, I don't know, I would like to think people wouldn't be offended if you also started making floral hair pieces. And obviously Hannah's super sweet and we're all friends and I doubt she would get mad, but like say it wasn't her, say it was more of like a stranger. Um, I don't know how that would go. But like my point is I don't think you should get mad about something like that. Again, as long as they're not taking your exact design, it's not a big deal. Like I think like my like Ace Ventura dancing piece is probably like the most original piece I've made and I'm like really proud of it. But if someone else were to make Ace Ventura dancing, again, as long as it wasn't my exact pattern, like that one bitch did, I might look at it and be like, I had that idea first. But like, I didn't make Ace Ventura and like I don't own the idea of that. I just own the design. That's how I feel at least. I don't know, glimpse if that like matches with what you think. Illogical. Tear it off the wall. And glimpsing phrases. Think sick like a ginger ale. So nice. I'm just being really finicky about the dots on the front side now. Leave me empty inside. Turn it inside out, find nothing but faith in nothing. Your work is flawless. I love you, girlie. You guys make me feel so good. Melina, Monstera leaves are huge right now. It'd be so stupid to get mad at someone for making one. It would be, but people do. And like I said, like if you made your own, it'd be very likely that someone else could also make their own and have like a very similar design to you. So like I can understand like getting a little mad about that, but in that situation, like that person probably couldn't help it and didn't mean to do it. Find nothing but faith in nothing. You can't own the look of God's made. The Lord owns it, and we need to respect him and his creations. Jackie, do people ever send you patterns? Hannah has people sending her patterns all the time from other makers. No, not really. There's been like maybe one or two in my like 4 or 5 years on Instagram where people have sent me something and been like, can you make me something like this? But in both of those cases, I couldn't find the original work. And when I followed up with them as to like, where did you get this or where did it come from? They just didn't answer me. So I assume those were like stolen pieces, but they weren't even like, make me this. They were like something like this. So I don't know that that was like pattern theft. That's crazy though, that people send her patterns from other makers. She should call them out. Hannah's too nice to do it, but I'd probably put someone on blast if they did that to me. That would be straight copy. LOL, that one bitch. I know I've been working on leaves and crystals. Yeah, there was one bitch that made, like, she photographed my piece and, like, blew it up and, like, traced the pattern and then made it herself. And then she posted it on Facebook saying, oh, this glass artist I admire made this amazing piece of glass, so then I copied it. Like, she was, like, proud that she'd done it and, like, didn't think I'd be mad or something. But I obviously was. I called her out and was like, just because you say you like my work doesn't mean it's okay to steal it, moron. And then I had to get my legal team involved with her, and luckily we shut her shit down. But I wasn't the only artist she was stealing from. All of her work was stolen, so I'm sure she's probably still doing it, just not with my shit. Yeah, Hedgewood, you were saying that you do crystals and monsteras and stuff, so you probably have opinions on this pattern theft. I think if it looks like my version, it's copy. If it looks like I made it, there's a problem. Usually people are cool if I just chat with them. like someone selling patterns almost like make things like this. Yeah. Yes, people do that and then they don't even tag you. Super lame. Yeah. That's the other thing. Like sometimes if someone doesn't take your shit, but they make something that looks like you made it. Like right when I started in the beginning, there was one other person who made a mermaid and the design wasn't my mermaid, but there was something about it that I was like, I see myself in this pattern. And I called her out on it and she was like, no, I don't know where this, I wasn't even looking at your stuff. But I was like, as an artist, like I see, like she used like my exact wire for like the boob and just like the curves of the tail, like the way that it was holding something. I was like, I know you just like looked at all my shit and then drew one of your own like heavily with my work in your head as you did it. And I don't think that's cool. I feel like though, if you put a pattern up for grabs, you no longer have a say. Oh yeah, if you're selling your patterns or just posting them being like, I don't care if you take them, which not a lot, but artists do that. And I'm always so shocked when like an artist will publicly put their designs out and be like, they're up for grabs, take them, copy them. Cause I'm like, you probably put so much work into that. Don't you care? Some of them don't though. Which is why, like, I guess you can't get mad at someone for asking. Like, I do get a lot of people asking if they can remake my patterns or buy them. A lot of more people ask if they can buy them. And you can't get mad at that because some people do say yes, apparently. Sorry, all out of context. I talk too much. Maybe I'm confused. It was the position. I know who you're talking about. Lies. They're always inspired. Still watermark your crap if you're going to be upset about it. Yeah, that was something I learned to start putting the little copyright notice just as extra protection. I think there's so much want for leaves and crystals that no one should be getting mad at anyone for selling them. Yeah, it's kind of how I feel about it too. I think this looks okay. I think we're good. This side is definitely worse, so that's going to be the back. This shall be the front. So we're going to solder. How did I have him? I think we like that. So we're going to solder this way. Did I just spin him? Okay, so now I'm going to carefully try to place my brass rod so it's in line with that vertical mark in my pattern. I'm going to pin it into place so it doesn't move around too much. Told me when I was young, sit beside me, my only son. I seriously could watch this all day. That makes me feel really good because I'm constantly nervous that you guys can't see it clearly enough, or I'm not talking enough and I'm being boring, or you don't understand what's going on. So thank you. And at the top, I want that brass rod to like just meet the lead, but not go over it, because I don't want you to be able to see the brass rod from the front side. And this is where the camera really bugs me, because I really want to put my head right where the camera is, so I can make sure I'm doing it right. But I cannot do that. And you'll find love. Someone up above. My fingertip is burning through my glove. Fudge. I really need to get those gloves that I think Hedgewitch was telling me about yesterday. The grilling ones. I have gotten like bad burns on my fingertips before because I will sacrifice them for the art, make no mistake. If you can. I think I need more flukes. How do people not wear gloves? This is something I don't understand. I wear gardening gloves too. Do a lot of people solder without gloves? I haven't seen like that many videos of people soldering. I'm trying to think if they're wearing gloves or not. Yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't. Fuck. I made that ball way too big on the top, so we'll have to bring it back, but that's okay. Let's be satisfied. I was showing these off earlier, Kara. I don't know if you use D-wipes, but like I don't wear gloves when I'm working with the lead, wrapping it around the pieces. So I use those D-wipes to constantly clean my hands and like my keyboard and my phone and everything. Don't know if you know about those. They're pretty handy. Oh, son, if you can. Now we're just gonna solder each side over that brass. I always try to make the back look as clean as possible too, even though like I don't know that it's that important. But on a piece like this, you would see the back, right? If it's in like a pot, you might be seeing the back. So I think it's still important to make it as clean as we can. Looks good, right? There's just a little bit too much solder up there. You can kind of see the bump. So I'm just gonna pull that back. I don't wear gloves. You don't wear gloves at all, Hedwitch? Weren't you telling me about nice grilling gloves I could get? Was that not you? And don't you burn yourself all the time? Maybe you're just more talented, more careful. I still burn myself even when I wear gloves. Might be hard for you guys to see this, but I'm just blooping down the blob. There we go. Now it's not quite so obvious from the front side. It looks nice. Yes, I did a poll and more than 50% said they don't wear gloves. People be cray. I have D-lead soap though. That's probably the same thing, right? You should make a mushroom steak and a lemon because I'm growing a lemon tree. I want a lemon tree. If I mail you a lemon steak, will you mail me lemons? That's a good idea though. I have thought about mushroom steaks, but I know Snip Glass just started selling them and so did I think Bright Art. So not that I won't, but I might just want to wait like a couple weeks or a month or something just so they don't feel like I'm doing it because they're doing it. But yeah, we can definitely do that. And definitely a lemon one. I don't think anyone's making lemon steaks. I'll get right on that. No, it was me that told you about them. I just don't like them, those gloves. Okay. You do whatever works for you, girlfriend. I want to touch mine so I can feel the edges better if I have to. That's why I don't wear gloves when I'm wrapping the lead, because I agree. I like to be able to feel everything. Klims, you changed the color of your name and it threw me off. You understand Twitch better than I do. I have them too for over a year now. Wait, have what too? Lemons? Hold on. You just made like 20 lemons. Oh, Melina, go check out her lemons. Have you had lemons for over a year, Glimpse? Or gloves? I'm not good at following what conversation we're on. They're getting popular. Psh, your mushrooms would look totally different. Yeah, I could probably get away with it. Maybe I'll do it. I hate that artists have to wait and do stuff because of others. Yeah. I wanted, like, part of me just always wants to say fuck it. Like, I know I'm not stealing shit, so I don't care. But I think there is, like, a very big benefit to having friends in the community. Like, there are some glass artists that I don't think really are very friendly with the, not that they're not friendly, but like I just don't see them interact with the rest of the community very much, and they're super successful and doing well. But I don't know, I think there's just a big benefit to having like other people, like look out for your designs is one example. Like I get other artists whenever my work is being copied, they'll, you know, step up for me and like challenge the person or let me know. It's a big one. And also like collaborations and stuff. Not that I don't really do collaborations, but I would like the door to be open if I wanted to do them. So it's kind of like politics at work. Like, you know, like just got to play along with the BS to not piss people off because you never know who can help you. That sounds selfish of me. But I'm being honest. Mushroom steaks. It gets out of hand quickly. Glimpse just did lemons too. Glimpse says I made lemons last year and then just made a ton of them again. Bought yellow glass to make them, but I'm done now. Too many people have decided to make fruit all of a sudden. I want to say Hannah might have kicked that off. She was the first one that I saw making like the slices, and then all of a sudden I feel like I saw a lot more. So I don't know if there's someone who did it before her or if she kicked it off, but I feel like it might have been her that kicked it off. Community is super important to me too. Yeah. It's just easier to have friends than enemies, you know? I was surprised, like when back in February around Valentine's Day, I made, every day of my stories, I like shouted out a different artist. I think I tagged you in one of those glimpses. And a lot of them, like, other people replied to me and was like, you shouldn't support this artist. They like steal designs or they're rude or people just made comments on a lot of them. And I was very surprised because I had no idea that there were so many negative feelings out there. Kara, you got the most. I got a lot of people saying, this lady's a fucking bitch. I'm just kidding. No one said anything bad about you. Also, I just used your real name. I'm sorry. I have to try not to do that. I have to respect people's privacy. Whoops. Big man doing big man things. I didn't, did I even flux this? I'm like not paying it. I can't talk and do what I'm doing. This here the anthem. Doing big man things. My whip, same thing. Stick up, kid, I need everybody's hands up. I'm so disrespectful, and this here the anthem. Okay. Cool. I don't know if Hannah was the first. I made mine last August. Oh, so you were the first. The more I explore TikTok, the more fruit I see that is older than hers. I think it's a trend that transcends glass. Yeah. Oh my god, I hope no one did that about mine. Call me whatever you like. I have my name in my profile. Okay, good. I know some people want to be anonymous. I'd be lying if I didn't have strong feelings about at least one of the people you highlight. Really? But they do amazing glass work. I wonder if it's one of the people that like other people talk to me about. Probably. I might know who. I have a feeling I know who. But also, like, I'm very much of the opinion, like, I place talent over like friendliness. So like if you're doing bomb ass work, but I don't like you as a person, I'm still probably going to give you shout outs because of your work, because I just care about that more. And I would hope people would do the same to me. Like I care a lot more about people thinking I produce high quality work than thinking I'm nice. The consequence of whatever's gonna happen tonight. I mean, ideally, they think you're nice and you do lovely work, but if I had to pick one, it would be the art. That was the one, Glimpse. That was the one. I was very surprised. Like I know a bunch of the like woke glass artists, there's like a little circle of them. They all started following me at the same time. And like I was excited because I admire all their work. I think they're all really talented. And they started like commenting on my shit being like, "Oh, good job." And I was like, "Oh my god, they like my shit." And then they all stopped following me at the same time. And I don't care. I still follow them. Like, it's a shame, but I'll still follow them and give them shout outs because they do good work. When you make flowers, do people pick the color they want? Or do you just make what's in your heart? I always make what's in my heart. Melina might be the only one that gets to custom request colors. Like I was saying earlier, I don't know why, but daisies really speak to me just in black and white, and I guess yellow. So like I only make them in the black and white and the white and yellow. I thought about doing like a pink one, but I'm just not feeling it. I'll make a different flower design for pink, but not a daisy. But I guess if someone did like DM me and wanted a certain color, as long as like I had it in stock, I would do it. I don't get a ton of people asking me for different color things though. There's a whole story about them one day. I used to be super close with him then, but yeah. Yeah, there's definitely a click. Yeah, I mean, just like everything else in life, there's gonna be little groups and opinions and whatever, but I just try to be nice to everyone. It's a good rule to live by. Glimpse, you won't care if I make a lemon steak for Melina, right? Because I think that would be fun to do. Got a little solder blob on my leaf. Get off, get off. Could break your heart any day of the week. Mandy Moore classic right here. Heart anywhere. No, go forth and make what's in your heart. Just don't use my pattern. Will do, girly. I think you do like the whole lemon, or like half of it is like the rind and the other part is the slice. I was thinking of just doing a circle of the slice. Or if that's been done, I can do half of it. Or Melina, if you had a different thing in mind, I can do something else. Wait, do you really have a pattern for a lemon? I always just wing it. You always wing the lemons, or you always wing all your patterns? Any day of the week. Girls ain't got nothing on me. Heart. There, I think the leaves look clean. Now we're just gonna add the wire in the middles and we'll be done. Kelly, I feel like listening to you is healthier than watching serial killer documentaries, which is what I've been doing. I have listened to so many podcasts about serial killers. I know every single killer's biography. Why are they so interesting? Isn't that like messed up? Because like women are like their prime targets, like, and men don't listen to that crap. I don't think. Like my husband's not into it. Why are we so into it? Sick. Around. I'm just gonna put a little solder bead at the tip of each leaf so it sticks a little better. And I'm just gonna clean this end up a little bit. Hopefully I'm healthier than listening to stories about people getting violently murdered though. Any day of the week. Just make a lemon. No one owns lemons. The Lord owns lemons. I wing a lot of my smaller pieces. Really? I don't think I could ever wing a piece. I am too much of a planner for that. But respect to you if you're able to pull it off. It's crazy. It is crazy. Did you ever watch Dexter? I heard it's coming back. Yes. The husband and I watched that. It was pretty good until, I don't know, I think we like kind of fell off on like, not the last season, but the one before. It was like around the time like him and his sister started like having this weird vibe together. We kept being like, are they going to make out? They're totally going to make out. And did they ever make out? I don't remember. And we didn't stop watching because of that. We just, I don't know. That was like the point that it got boring to us. I watched one about the BTK killer, and I'd never heard of him, which is shocking. Yeah, he was a very scary one. How can they make it come back? Dexter. Yeah, because in the end, I mean, I don't want to blow it for anyone who hasn't seen, but I think he leaves in the end, is what I'll say. I mean, he didn't die, so I guess he could come back, but he left in a way that made it seem like he wasn't. Kelly, you could not get into Dexter for some reason. I thought it was really gripping in the beginning. How are you into serial killer documentaries, but not that TV show? That seems weird. Cool. I'm just gonna curve this wire a little bit. I think yesterday when I did this, I was holding the wire with my hands, and today I'm using plier. I do things differently every day. Don't know why. I think holding it with my hands is probably easier. Probably better for you too, because you can't really see what I'm doing, can you? If I go like that, better for you? There we go. And then I'm just gonna snip off the ends. The worst thing that could happen to you tonight. He showed up in a logging camp and disappeared. No clue. Just not your thing, I guess. I love how you make the wire bow out of it. Thank you. It's like little things like that that I feel like I was talking about before, where you see your theme or your style in someone else's work. Like it's a little thing like that that like maybe I don't even consciously do, but like when other people use it combined with other aspects of my work, it's just like obvious, like, oh, you got that from me. I don't think leaf curves are necessarily a great example, because a lot of people probably naturally do that, but you know what I mean. You got some little solder balls stuck in the center. The worst is when you finish a piece and something you thought was a solder ball, like a loose solder ball, you go to move it and it ends up it was actually soldered there and you can't get rid of it. And you have to reheat it and like redo that area. It happens to me a lot. Or it used to. There. Do we like it? I like it. Melina, I don't know if you're still out there, but I'll hold on to this one if you want it. Or I can make another one in like a, you just saw me make one very quickly, so I can just post it, and if it sells out and you want it, just message me and I'll make another one for you. I think Melina left. Ta-da! We all like. All right. I guess I'm just gonna spray it with quick cleaner real quick, and then probably gonna hop off here. I do spend more time polishing and cleaning. Like yesterday I ended pretty much at this point, but I do go back. Usually I wait a day and then I go back and with like Q-tips and stuff, and I really try to polish it up well, because for some reason like the I don't know, the residue or like whatever, a lot of times it doesn't show up until the piece has been done for like a day or two. So I don't give it like a full clean as soon as it's done. I wait. Ooh, what you're made of. I'll show you what I'm made of. Is there anyone that you follow that you can raid before signing off? I don't know what a raid is. I've heard the term, but I don't know what it is. It'll get you get to an affiliate so you can start having subscriptions. Can I raid you? I don't know what the requirements are for raiding. Did I have patina on this toothbrush? Shoot, I think I did. We gonna have to steal wool. Is this my patina brush? It's not supposed to be. It's not supposed to be, but I think I used it for patina. I have all these different toothbrushes that I use for different, like this one says zinc. This is my zinc brush. This is black. This is my black patina brush. This is copper. And this one with no marking is supposed to be the one that I use on my clean pieces. But I think I must have used it to patina something yesterday, which is very stupid. Very stupid. So now I'm going to have to go find a clean toothbrush, which I don't know if we even have. Luckily, I noticed pretty quickly, so I can steel wool that off. You probably can't even tell, but the middle got like a little darker. They have to be streaming. Like I'm not on, but I'm hosting you. Oh, you're doing that. So if anyone goes to my page, they will see you and follow you. Thank you so much. Thank you. You type /raid and then their name. Well, you're like the only Twitch friend I have, so I don't think we can do that right now, but that's a very good tip. And well, here, hold on. If I go to my Twitch in a different browser, I can see if any of the people I follow, do they have to, would it be weird if like someone wasn't following me and they didn't know who I was, but then I rated them? Would that make me seem like a stalker? Is that bad Twitch etiquette? Nope, not at all. Okay. Literally all the ones that I follow are not online, so that's pretty common. Well, if it's gonna get me to affiliate, should I just like find one? Especially for small streamers. Like I don't want to host one that has nothing to do with glass though. That's the only thing. Like part of me is like, oh, I'll just pick some random streamer who's live and do it. But I don't know if I want to do that. don't read until you're ready to log off. So when I do that, it stops my stream and it starts rating. Yes. Okay. Well, I don't have anyone good to do it with, so I guess I won't do it this time. But I will keep that in mind for next time to try to like have one teed up. That's a good tip. Thank you. But yeah, I might have to go to the store actually now and get a new toothbrush because I think I just messed up my last one, which I'm going to need to finish this. So I think I'm going to log off anyway. Your stream will still go, but your chat gets taken over by them. Oh, okay. Good to know. Okay, well, I think I'm going to hop off. Thank you, everyone who joined. If you're still here, Kelly, Glimpse, everyone, thank you for hanging out with me. Melina, I'm going to be out of town starting tomorrow for a while, so I don't know when I'm going to stream again. It'll be next week sometime, probably at like 5 p.m. I'll do evening ones. So I'll be back next week at some point, but I'll be MIA for the next few days. Thank you, Hedgewitch. All right. I will talk to you guys later. See ya.